Hello everyone and welcome back to Splattermack's Death Security Prison. Now I know this series has gone a little bit without an episode, so it's going to take me a couple minutes just to figure out what the hell was going on. So as I recall, we had modified our regime so that we had lots of free time, and we had built our new cell block, which now, let me make sure that everything is properly wired and piped. It looks like everything's okay, but I'm going to go to my utilities menu real fast just to make sure. Alright, we've got our new kitchen and canteen over there. I haven't quite figured out how I want to divide up the labor from here to here, but we'll worry about that in the future. Down here, we still need some electricity, so let's take a look at our utilities. We're going to grab some electrical cable, and I want to be ahead of the curve for once in this game, because I always feel like I'm adapting to a situation rather than dictating the situation. So we're going to try and swap that over. I think the most efficient way that I can run these pipes is maybe to go like so, down to the bottom maybe, and then quite possibly go in through here, and then we'll just run them as necessary. There we are. And let's go ahead, and it sounds like somebody's getting caught with a weapon right now. I just heard that wheer noise. And everything looks okay. Just making sure that everything's fine. Our intake has been concluded, and I need to designate this an office. Somebody said that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I actually absolutely forgot to call this an office, so let's take care of that. Ooh, and I don't want to do that. There we are. So it's an office now. And then we need to give these guys some doors, because frankly, it's kind of like a big stone cubicle without a door. So there we are. We'll put some doors in there, and the psychologist is now dwelling within his office, which is fantastic. That's exactly where we want him. We want him working away, coming up with strange ways to brainwash these people and keep them from stabbing each other with shivs. And now, let's see. Most of our cells appear to be occupied. What I would like to see is maybe something similar to what happens in towns, where when you mouse over a cell, it tells you who's assigned to it. But for now, there's no way to tell who's assigned to any given cell. And what the hell happened right here? I feel like I've made a mistake right here. Let's go ahead and go to our materials menu. We'll demolish that wall real fast, because this guy kind of got robbed on that deal. And I'm a little conflicted. This guy is handcuffed in the bathroom. God, handcuffed in the nude, laying on a wet, damp floor. What can you do? Now, over here, we're getting that wiring run, and we're getting our piping laid down, which is great. That's exactly what I want to see. Let's speed up time a bit, just to make some more things happen, because I always feel like I'm kind of playing at a snail's pace in this game. And before I queue up too much more work, I just want to take a look around the kingdom, kind of just take a look at the premises and make sure that things are the way I want them. Now, we do need to get this kitchen up and running, so let's do that. We'll grab the objects that they need, namely cookers, some freezers. Let's see here. It's been a little bit, so I apologize if it's taking me a little bit to find what I need. Okay, we need some sinks, so we'll grab some of those, flip them around, make sure they're facing the right way. There we are. So we'll get a sink there, and then beyond the sink, we've got serving tables in. We do need some cookers. So we'll take cookers maybe, and we'll kind of just extend those out a little further. And then what else do we need? We need a freezer, or a grouping of freezers. So let's find ourselves some freezers here. Or fridges. My apologies. There we are. Put the fridges in the corners. Maybe something like that. That looks nice. I like the way that looks. That's tolerable. And then pretty soon we're going to have to run utilities through here too. And as you can see, a lot of these guys are sick of the overcrowding over here, so they're all rushing into this area. Maybe it's just because they all have weapons. We do need to put in some metal detectors on this place, though. I am really liking how all these doors are going to protect us from people getting to weapons. So hopefully this should alleviate some of the stress on this kitchen. We were getting a lot of fights in this area, and anytime you have a lot of fights in a given area, it tends to be an indicator that you should probably switch things out a tad. Now, up here, I still haven't thought of kind of an aesthetically pleasing way to do this without actually shifting the fence back by one. It's going to make this whole area look kind of ugly, and I don't like that. But it may be a situation that we don't really have an option. Maybe I'll bulldoze this fence and cut it in one. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let's take a look here. See what we can get done. So we'll take... Oh, we got more intake coming along. And how many of our cells are occupied? I think we're pretty much good. Our cells haven't really been touched too much. So let's take some objects, and we'll fit out these cells so that we can be ahead for a little while. Because frankly, I like the speed at which we're expanding. I'm able to keep slightly ahead of every single intake, and we're not running into too many issues. So we'll throw some doors in. We got $18,000 left, so we've got some space to spend, I guess. And our cooks are more than likely going to take care of business over here as soon as I get the utilities room. But for now, they're going to have to take a little hike. We're going to have to walk over this direction and take care of business over there. I do need to get a head of staff or a chief of staff at some point, but for now, I don't really want to deal with it at the moment. Let's go ahead and hire some more guards because we do have another intake coming in. There we are. 2 more guards just to make sure we have plenty of guys to take care of any problems that arise. And I completely didn't mean to make that rhyme. It just kind of happened. And objects, we'll put some toilets into these right here. And I've had comments that this seems a little rushed. And I've had people say that they wish that I had done this without continuous intake on so I could be a little bit more creative. Indeed, I agree with you. The game is quite rushed with intake on. It is very chaotic. It is very fast-paced. And it takes quite a bit, not focus, I wouldn't say it takes focus because it's a video game obviously, but it takes at least some partial attention to detail to avoid getting yourself into trouble. Now, we could use a few more capacitors, I'm willing to bet, so let's do that before our power situation gets completely out of control. Now, these are expensive, so I don't want to lay too many of them down, but we'll lay down a couple. And there we are, and if worse comes to worse, maybe we'll deal with putting in another generator. I don't even know if that can work, but... And it looks like we've got another fight in the shower. So, this guy is actually pretty talented. He's switching in and out of his clothes while he fights. He's actually kind of the master fighter around here. And now we've got guards sprinting to the rescue here, and we're just going to watch the ass whooping unfold. And our guards are just beating everybody, just taking everybody out. I think maybe this whole block should be solitary, but we'll deal with that shortly. Let's go ahead and designate these all as cells now that they've got doors. So we'll take that right there in our rooms menu, and we'll just start designating all of these cells. And there we are. And I'm liking the way everything's looking right now. Everything's looking pretty clean. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get too creative with this whole area just because the cell blocks can be a little weird if you're not using kind of a pre-built formula. And since I worked all these out on paper before, they seem to work really well. I have considered kind of closing this off and just making a hallway in between so that these are all like one big block, but haven't gotten around to it yet. Now let's drop our menu here, and we need to designate some of these doors as staff only. So there we are, staff only, and staff only to that one as well, so nobody tries to sneak in the back door. There's already enough backdoor sneaking going on in this prison, so believe me. I was talking to the prisoners the other day, and they got one guy that they call Lumbercrack because he's just out there servicing everybody. But let's take a look at this fence now. And we're going to... God, I'm going to regret this the moment I do it. Like, I have this horrified feeling that somebody's going to take off and make a run for the hills the moment I do this. But we'll destroy that. And once that's down, we'll put in a new brick wall right here. And this isn't really the way I wanted to function. But as someone pointed out in an email to me, kind of cordoning this off right here and designating it as staff only may be the best way to fix my infirmary problem, because then I can make all of this... Basically anybody can go through these that wants to. And then... Is he putting up that last wall there? There we are. And so now what I can do is I can take doors, and we'll go to our objects, and I'm kind of adapting to a situation that I created for myself. We'll go like this. Well, we'll space those out a little better. We'll go 2 space in between each one. And maybe like that. There we are. So that's a little nicer. And what we'll do is we'll call these staff only, and we'll say that anybody can get through these doors so that we don't end up in a situation where we're not able to move our prisoners around. Because as you can see, we're kind of accumulating people in medbay right now, which is a little unfortunate. Our doctors are doing their best, but they're overworked. It's a typical public prison system in which there's not enough things to take care of most of our needs, but we're doing the best we can. So as soon as these doors are in place, there we are. So we'll call these staff only. We'll call that staff only. And likewise for all of these doors. There we are. And now we can say everyone for these doors. There we are. There we are. And this should actually help the flow through of prisoners to and from medbay. And what I'd like to do now is take medbay and expand it out a little bit. Actually, taking a look at my money, I may not have the money to do that right now. Let's go ahead and lay the piping for the rest of these cells, since that's kind of a more pressing issue. So Oh god, I thought that autosave was a crash for a second. This game crashes on me so much. You guys have no idea how frustrating it is videotaping this. Like, it is constantly dying on me, like all the time. So, I do what I can to kind of keep... I mean, I can splice the videos together somewhat, but it crashes on me a lot, and it makes me want to cry giant Splattercat man tears. Like the kind of tears that you cry when your dog dies. Like just a grown-ass man sobbing about his video. Anyways, let's go ahead, and that's the last door. We'll call that staff only. Hopefully nobody sneaks out that way. Nobody makes with the sneaky sneak. Nobody tries the sneaky sneak out of the prison, because we cannot have no sneaky sneaking going on. And our rec area out here, let's take a look at what our needs are right now. So needs. Lots of things appear to be critical. It does not look like a lot of things are going well for us right now, so... God. We'll go ahead and take care of maybe... exercise first, and we'll expand the yard out into here. Maybe we'll cut off the workshop a little bit and make the yard go all the way down to here, and maybe get rid of this fence, and we'll just keep putting more things in the yard that people can do, I suppose. So one last look there. Hygiene's down, so maybe I'll turn this into a shower, possibly. We'll see what happens. This could just be a giant shower, maybe. Yeah, let's go ahead, and I'm gonna take materials here. And what we'll do... we'll cancel that. And we'll go like so, maybe. And I've seen these at other prisons, so this should work. Basically, these are going to be outdoor poopers. We're going to have kind of an outdoor John, outdoor Lou type area. I've seen them in real life prisons before, at like San Quentin and things like that, where there's outdoor toilets that kind of have like 3-foot tall dividers, and I'm kind of trying to replicate that right now and maybe make that, because it seems like a lot of our guys seem kind of upset about their bowel needs. Are you kidding me? You guys are literally killing me right now. So this poor bastard built himself into a corner like an idiot, so I guess we'll have to wait until the original walls are laid down all the way. Hey, come save your friend before he like starves to death. And we've got another fight, so yeah, the shower. We'll probably designate this a shower before too long. Let me take a quick count of my cells. It looks like I've got 7 there. 10, 17, 27, 37, 47 cells. As long as I'm still counting those properly. So 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah, 47 cells. And then a holding cell. So we need to come up with a shower solution here. So what we'll do first, it's saying no root here, which is a little weird. I get the feeling that Robinson's up to no good over here. I don't feel like he's probably doing anything that he's supposed to be doing. What we'll do is we'll put these in. Let's go ahead and get our objects. We're going to put some toilets in now, just to make sure. So that people on yard time can use the bathroom too. Although this thing seems to be confusing the AI somewhat, but we're doing what we can right now. We're doing what we can with what we have. So what do you do when there's nothing you can do? You do what you can, as a wise person once said. Oh, somebody's gonna be the prison yard bitch right now, because we're gonna make a bitch seat here. We're gonna make a throne for the lowest man on the totem pole. And you get to poop at the end of the hallway right there if you get too rowdy. So we'll put toilets near the recreational area. I'm not completely sure why nobody's using the rec area. It's kind of a weird situation. Let's hire ourselves a few more cooks too, just to make sure we have enough cooks. We have 10 guards. I don't think we have nearly enough cooks though, so we'll grab a couple more and make sure that they're working when they need to be working. Now, we do need a chief of security. I'm probably going to wait until we get our next little chunk of grant money though. Just to kind of keep things as uncomplicated, or kind of keep things as simple as possible for the moment, considering how many things we have going on, how many situations are needing to be resolved right now. So what I will do though is we'll start assembling our new shower over here. So we'll give them little kind of 2-meter wide dividers, maybe. And we'll see how this turns out. This may not kind of separate evenly, and that would be disappointing, but I think this will probably work. Try not to spend too much money before our next grant comes in, because I don't want to front log my expenses. That would kind of suck to front load my expenses. So there we are. So all of those walls should get put in place. Let's go ahead and run the piping as well for these toilets over here. There we are. There we are. And there we are. And one little pipe for that toilet. Fantastic. And there appears to be some kind of fight going on outside, so it's pretty frequent at my apartment complex. People are always just brawling in the parking lot. It's ridiculous. It really is. Like, grown-ass people just acting like preschoolers. Like, and you never know, like, I'm not going to get, like, beat up or stabbed or shot for trying to break up a fight. Kind of, they need to learn to be mature on their own, so. I had one lady one time at my apartment complex. Like, at 4 in the morning, I could hear plates crashing, and I was like, what the hell? And so I go out to the parking lot, and there's this guy, like, in the parking lot, like, covering his head, and there's just this lady throwing plates at him in the middle of the parking lot. Just ridiculous stuff happens at my complex like this all the time. I really wish I lived somewhere else, but what can you do? You live where you gotta. You live where you gotta. So that being said, we should probably get some of our, well, yeah, let's go ahead and get some shower heads put in here. Start throwing some shower heads around. And I think the main problem is they all kind of bum rush the shower at the same time. That may be due to the fact that I'm not giving them enough shower time. I'm not completely sure on that. Hopefully somebody will make use of our little kind of cubicle toilets out here during yard free time. We'll see what happens. And we're up to $30,000 now, so good. And that being said, let's lay our drains down in here. I don't know what I want to do with the center. The center kind of... Let's see. Let's get creative here. We're going to put in some more showers, but we'll see what we can do to kind of make it look nice. Let's see here. So we'll put those there. And unfortunately, it's an even number, which makes this a little more difficult. Or at least it makes it a tad more difficult aesthetically. There we are. And once those walls are in, how many of my cells are being used right now? I don't even think this cell block is being utilized yet, so that's good. That is a situation that I like very much. So we have a little bit of extra money, so let's take a foundation real fast. And what we'll do, I suppose we'll expand that out a little further. We'll put a door on it. And once we have a door on it, I'll probably build walls, and we'll just put some tile or something in here, make it look a little nicer. For the rest of the area, we do need more solitary holding cells, which is kind of... I keep putting it on the back burner, but it does need to get done. And also, this kitchen isn't even ready. Good God, what was I thinking? Alright, so let's get this place taken care of. We'll run some wiring like so. And those are already powered, but we need water. So let's take some small pipes and just run them real quick like so. And that looks good. I like it. I approve. And I don't know if that's going to work. That might not work. So let's take large piping, and we'll run that down like so. I love running piping, by the way. I don't know what it is. It's something about my OCD, just loves running all this piping. It's a blast to me. Like, this used to be my favorite part of SimCity 2000 as well. Not necessarily, like, building your city, but actually just running the waterworks and everything. Just getting everything all nice and worked out. It's an addiction. It's a strange addiction. Now, I think we've gotten enough done here to where I can safely break off the episode. So next episode, our mission is definitely going to be to get our Chief of Staff ready to go. So next time, we're going to set up patrol routes. We're going to get that all taken care of. We're not going to mess up our piping right here. I keep doing dumb stuff. There we are. And I think that's probably going to be the mission for the next episode. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in this next episode of Prison Architect, a fantastic game by Introversion Software. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. You all take care out there.